Thank you for listening to Dialogues on Democracy, featuring stories and expertise from IFES's 25 years of supporting sustainable democracy. I'm Joseph Marcus. Technology is everywhere, and the term is quite ubiquitous. So how do we define election technology? Where is it taking us, and where are we taking it? For this podcast, I spoke with Mike Yard, IFES's Chief of Party in Kenya. Mike Yard is one of IFES's top electoral technology experts. Mike, how do we define electoral technologies?
I think it's important that we try to define what is appropriate electoral technology. I would say that are any tools and techniques that help to address real electoral problems. Maybe we shouldn't be looking for what are the latest and greatest technologies that we would read about in popular blogs on the internet. We've been constantly chasing the perfect technology that was going to solve all the political problems associated with elections.
Technology is ever evolving. Can you please tell us about the changes you have witnessed?
Every generation seems to come up with the latest and greatest technology that's going to end fraud once and for all. And this is immediately followed every generation by political players inventing more creative ways to commit fraud. But I think maybe the biggest change is a growing belief that technology will somehow magically solve political problems. Changes in technology have been driven not only by what new technologies are available and what is practical and what solves the problems, but also by political interests, matched at the same time by growing opposition on the basis of cost, loss of transparency, but just as often, objections based on concerns that this new technology may give my opponent a political edge.
What are some of the challenges that countries, both mature democracies and emerging democracies, face as they implement new or update existing technologies?
I think the most common challenge to election management bodies is a tendency to underestimate the time and resources required for successful implementation. One of the problems that many countries have faced is a failure to adequately involve all stakeholders. Ireland is a great example of this. The government made a decision to introduce new voting technologies, but did not take adequate time to go out and find out if the voters and the political parties were willing to accept these new technologies. And consequently, millions of euros were wasted and the machines sit rusting. But on the other side, a failure to adequately involve all stakeholders can also fuel this misunderstanding of how difficult it is to introduce new technologies.
Can you please describe some of the new opportunities election technology has created in the electoral and political sphere?
For example, voting technologies have been used to significantly increase accessibility. But at the same time, the focus on technology as the solution has ignored other real-world barriers. If the question is, how can we use technology to improve accessibility, we may see some real advances in one area, but completely fail to solve the problem. Using technology to provide fully accountable results systems that can be audited down to the polling station level. This is something that was very difficult to do with manual systems. There's been an increase in the use of text messaging for reporting incidents of election violence and even inappropriate behavior on the part of political stakeholders or poll workers. And I think these are the real opportunities in new election technology, is trying to find every place that we can use technology to enhance the transparency and the accountability of the election process.
As the global digital divide narrows, how will electoral technology shape the process in emerging democracies?
First of all, I think it's important to recognize the extent to which election technology has already been shaping the electoral process in emerging democracies, and that impact has not always been positive. Because We see the demand for convenience pushing us into technologies and techniques that may cause us to sacrifice security and integrity. The demand for introducing the latest technology, the demand for convenience, the demand for immediate flow of information shouldn't push us into sacrificing integrity just for an easier and a more immediate and a more convenient way to cast our vote and find out who won the election.
For more dialogues on democracy and information about IFES's work with electoral technology, please visit our website, www.ifes.org.